This isn't some story from a book or a movie. This really happened to me. We met at work, both fresh faces in the professional world, and we ended up spending so much time together during our internship. Milo had this laugh that was so loud and infectious, it was impossible not to fall for it. A few months into the relationship, I proposed. But she waved me off, saying it was too soon. So we carried on, no formalities, no rush to change things, for nearly 4 years. And then, out of nowhere, she left. But it didn't end there. One evening, she just showed up at my door. We started talking, but before I knew it, the conversation turned into another channel. Accusations were pouring in from everywhere. "You kept me tied up for 4 years," she said, "and now you're ready to marry this general in just 2 months." I couldn't help myself. "I didn't keep you tied up," I screamed, feeling everything boil inside. Okay, maybe I didn't say that. But then why all this? I threw up my hands, turning away. "You're married now," I went on. "You've made your choice between me and the good life, and as always, money won." Hold on, she said, trying to calm me down. "Let's talk this through." She caught my attention, and I saw the tears in her eyes. But I wasn't sure what to do anymore. "There's nothing to talk about," I muttered, heading toward the door. "You've made your choice. Go." But then she rushed after me, grabbing my arm. "Wait, you can't just throw me out after I've come all this way," she said urgently. "This is important." She looked so desperate. "It's about my dad," she stammered, her voice shaking. I need money for his surgery." Her words trailed off, and in that moment, I saw her completely unravel. "You have to leave," I said, trying to keep my voice calm. "Go back to your husband. I'm sorry, but I'm filing for divorce." Mila didn't say anything. Instead, she burst into tears, wrapping her arms tightly around my neck. Her face buried itself against my chest, her sobs shaking her whole body. I couldn't bring myself to pull her off. It felt like I was somehow responsible for what had happened to her father. "I need time to forgive," I murmured, my hand gently stroking her back, my fingers brushing through her hair. She continued to cry, but now it wasn't just sadness. It was something heavier, something darker, something that felt like betrayal. "We're both part of this mess," she whispered, her voice barely audible. I didn't know what to say to that. "Just calm down. All right. Take it easy," I urged. But she just sobbed harder, her shoulders trembling against me. I had no idea how to make her stop crying. What words could possibly help? "Do you want to see your father?" I asked, after a long pause. She shook her head. "No, he won't understand. He doesn't know I left my husband." "Wait, you ran away?" I asked, genuinely confused. She hesitated before answering. I increased the limit on my credit card, and yes." I stared at her, dumbfounded. "Are you out of your mind? Do you want to get yourself into more trouble?" The situation was spiraling in directions I hadn't even considered. But still, she clung to me, her voice soft but determined. "I want to be with you." That night, after a long silence, I finally agreed. "You can stay tonight, but you'll have to return the money tomorrow, and you need to take care of your divorce in the next few weeks." And then, just like that, she vanished. I searched everywhere I could think of, calls, messages, even mutual friends, but she was gone. There was only one place I hadn't thought to check, her parents' house. When I arrived, her mother met me at the gate, a mask of displeasure on her face. She invited me in, even though it was clear that she wasn't thrilled to meet me. In the yard, Mila's father was sorting through boxes of corn. The rhythm of his work was familiar and unhurried. It was a peaceful, monotonous village life that always seemed so far away from everything that was going on between us. What struck me, though, was how effortlessly he moved the heavy boxes, stacking them with the ease of someone who had done it 1,000 times. We sat down at the table, and I took the lead in the conversation. I told them about my recent meeting with Mila, expecting some kind of response, but all I got was confusion on their faces. "And now," I continued, "you know why I'm here. If you won't help me, I'll keep searching for her myself. She could be in trouble, and I need your help. Do you understand?" The former son-in-law sighed heavily. "Aiden, my son," he began. "Yes, there was no operation. Mila and her husband are at home. And to be honest, we've never liked your relationship. We breathed a sigh of relief when Mila found a decent man. But now you're showing up again. Can't you just leave her alone?" I was caught off guard. He stood up, his movements slow and deliberate, then patted me on the shoulder. "It's time you stayed away. You have no place in someone else's family." I stepped outside the gate feeling like an absolute fool. My mind was racing, hammering with frustration. I got in my car, turned the key, and was ready to drive off when something caught my eye. A familiar car was coming down the road. Mila was in the passenger seat, tears streaming down her face. I jumped out of the car and rushed to meet them. The jeep came to a sudden stop, and the driver, a man I didn't recognize, jumped out, went straight to the trunk, and started unloading suitcases. Mila's father, still clutching his chest, looked at me. "Is she yours?" he asked, voice tight. "I'm filing for divorce," the guy blurted out, turning to face me. "And who the hell are you?" It hit me like a punch. "Well, I guess I'm the lover," I muttered, not sure what else to say. The guy threw up his hands in frustration. "Yeah, right. Just get out of here," he barked at Mila. I flinched when I heard a woman's voice from inside. "Oh, look at that. A proshmandovka." I froze at the word. Mila glanced between me and her husband, then walked toward the gate, never taking her eyes off us. We just stood there, watching her disappear into the yard. The guy turned back to me. "Take her, but don't expect any more money from us, you scammers." I stared at him. "What money? What are you talking about?" Her father's face tightened. "First, it's for repairs to this shack, then for her mother's surgery, then for her father's teeth. It's all the same. Lies. All of it." The guy threw his hands up, clearly irritated. "There was no surgery, all right. No operation. Can't you see it?" The man glanced at his wife, then turned back to me. "Yeah, of course. There was no surgery," he said, shaking his head. "That's what I figured out. So, tell me, where did I spend 2 weeks? Definitely not in the hospital with you, but apparently with you walking around on my dime, huh?" 2 pairs of male eyes fixed on me, sharp and accusing. "Wait, hold on," I protested. "I only spent 1 night with her a few days ago. She came to me on her own." Mila's husband burst out laughing, a harsh, bitter sound. "Oh yeah? Sure, because you kicked her out, told her to go off and have some fun, so she went straight to you instead of her parents, like she said. It's nice that you didn't forgive her, though. I'll say it again. She's yours now." And just like that, I was left standing there, feeling completely humiliated. It was like I was covered in dirt from head to toe. But strangely enough, it didn't last long. On my way home, something shifted. I started to think, maybe it's a blessing in disguise that Mila left me when she did. She was looking for something better, trying to escape her life with her husband, chasing the idea of a better future. And I was just another stop on her path of boredom and self-satisfaction. Our need to change things, twisting people's lives with lies and manipulation, could never be fixed with love or money. That realization hit me hard, but it also gave me clarity.